How are we all doing? Well, today I'm in my home county of Nottinghamshire and I'm in the iconic Sherwood Forest, one of the most well-known forests in England. I'm here for that autumnal spectacle that is fungus, and one in particular, the fly agaric mushroom, or better known as a toadstool. Let's see if we can find one. Sherwood Forest is around 375 hectares of woodland over Nottinghamshire, and of course famous for the legend of Robin Hood. Even though I only live a few miles down the road, I have to admit I very rarely visit. Rivers are more my thing, but the autumn is a magical time to walk in the woods and see what's growing in the undergrowth. Now, autumn is the perfect time of year to go looking for mushrooms. You do get mushrooms throughout the year, but autumn provides cool, damp conditions which most fungus thrives in. Now, right below my feet right now, there'll be a whole network of fungus, a mycelial network. They're all connected and they all come up, which when you think about it is incredible. I've seen plenty of mushrooms today and it's fantastic to look at them. It's completely fresh and new for me. I don't know what most of these species are, but I do know fly agaric just because they're bright red and they're hard to miss, or I say hard to miss, I still haven't found one yet. Let's keep looking. I did find a couple of beautiful purple mushrooms called amethyst deceiver, I think I'm saying that right, which are actually edible and taste nutty. Although when they fade, they can look like the lilac fibre cap, which is deadly, so don't pick unless you know you're sure what they are. This is also where the name deceiver comes from, as it changes colour with age. They were all over, and they like to grow near birch. There were plenty of puffballs popping out of the ground too, which are also edible, though these were quite young, so hadn't quite got to that stage yet where they release the spores and are puffy. Puffballs are a decay fungus and break down rotting wood. I found one. This is a fly agaric mushroom or toadstool. I thought it'd be pretty easy being bright red. Turns out they're pretty tricky. I've come to a more quiet, secluded spot of the woodland where they're less likely to get trampled or anything like that, and I've found quite a few now, so it's lovely to see them. I'm not going to get too close to it because these are actually highly poisonous and hallucinogenic, and not in a good way. So if you eat that, you'll be violently sick. I mean, you'll be off your tits hallucinating at the same time, which I can't imagine being that fun. However, in more indigenous populations, like in Greenland, they did find a way around it. What they would do is they would feed fly agaric mushrooms to reindeer. The reindeer's kidneys would filter out all the nasty chemicals, and then when they pee, the indigenous people would drink that and get off their nut. So essentially drinking piss to get high. I'm not sure I'm that keen. I'll probably stick with Guinness. However, this is a beautiful, fantastic mushroom, and I'm chuffed to death to have found one. One of the main problems I find with fly agaric, and all mushrooms really, is finding a photogenic one. If it's too wet or heavy rain, it can turn them mushy. If it's too dry, they won't sprout. If it's too cold, they'll wither, so conditions have to be perfect, with a mild, damp few days. Even then, you have to hope that the slugs or the deer haven't taken a munch out of them or been trampled by a walker. Timing is so key for this, and I did find that a few were starting to look good, but hadn't quite bloomed fully yet, but still happy to see some. They last for around 3 weeks and become paler over time. October is the perfect month to get looking for different fungus, and especially fly agaric. It's found across most of the northern hemisphere and widespread in Britain. It's most commonly associated with birch trees, but can be found under other species too. Although it's hallucinogenic, it's very rarely fatal. Its common name is derived from the fact that it's in the fungal taxonomic order Agaricus. I probably butchered that as well, God I hate Latin. And historically it was used for killing flies by placing dry powdered material from its mushrooms in milk. Fly agaric is in a sort of symbiotic relationship with birch trees, in that the hyphae of the fungus wrap around the root hairs of a tree. In exchange,
fungus obtains sugars that the tree produces by photosynthesis, while the tree gains nutrients, such as nitrogen and phosphorus, which the fungus takes up from the soil.
Here is a fly agaric, a toadstool. I'm going to just point the camera around, and you can also see my very fancy piece of kit. Now this is a Panasonic camera with a probe lens on it, and what this does is it enables me to get a bug's eye view of macro subjects. So this fantastic little fly agaric there should look like this.
Hope you enjoyed the vid. Let me know what kind of wildlife, fungus, plants, whatever you want me to go after next and make a video about. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
That was a good video, wasn't it? Why don't you watch this other video that you might like somewhere on the screen? If you're not already, do subscribe to my socials and check out the other stuff on the channel. Leave a comment down below and I'll see you in the next vid. Cheers.